Urban, quite a crowd for the Gator Walk today.
Yeah,
it's an amazing experience. Can you describe that a little bit and talk about that moment and also the seniors and what it was like?
Well, it's amazing. 5 years ago we started that Gator Walk, and I remember the first we played Wyoming, and Malcolm Jowers, my state trooper that's with us, and I remember him on the phone saying they got to stop the buses because the overflow. We never had that here, and we weren't quite sure how to handle it. And that was the biggest I've seen yet. So once again, I just want to thank Gator Nation. And I was wondering, as we're coming in on the buses, there was no traffic. On traffic, they were already parked and ready to go. So it was a great, great moment.
And then the moment for you on the field when you were able to say goodbye. What was that like?
I don't want to say goodbye. The good thing is we're not done. We're not done yet. The negative is we're done in this great stadium. But we got a big one coming up.
Van, in the middle.
Coach, can you talk about Tebow's performance? Have a pretty Tebow-like performance in his last game here.
Yeah, that was one of his best performances. I thought he threw the ball extremely well, 17-21 for 221 and 3 touchdowns. And I thought I don't know where you start, but he threw probably best pass today was a speed post, and we had David Nelson against that great corner they have, number 21, and he just dotted the I on it, and he threw the ball very well. And him and Cooper made a great hookup as well.
And how big of a week is this coming up with Alabama?
How big a week?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty big, isn't it? Probably the biggest week we've ever had here, and we've had a few big ones. We watched a little bit of their game, and obviously a great football team, great backs, and obviously one of the best defenses in America. So I can't tell you more than that because I haven't really studied them yet.
Brand.
Urban, with all the emotions and everything that you had to put up with, then to have your team go out there and come out as focused as they were, would you talk about everything leading up to that and what you saw in your team?
Well, I don't want to expect too much of them, but I kind of expected that. I saw them all week in practice, and you can gauge around here. We've had one of the best Wednesday practices we ever had, and that tells you they're focused. But they've been, it's a little bit like last year. This time of year last year, it just got real serious around here. You make it. What I found out now that the older I get is the toughest games are those 6, 7, 8. Because you still don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And now, there's not a whole lot of rah-rah speeches and everything else. We just come in and get to work because these guys made, I think one way to look at it is these guys are starting to get used to playing some big games. And why is it a big game? Because they're pretty good at what they do. How are they good at what they do? Because fundamentally and talent-wise, we're one of the best teams in the country. So let's not confuse that with nonsense. Let's keep working on our fundamentals, and you do that on Tuesdays and Wednesdays around here.
Gene and then Joe and then Andy.
Urban, two-parter, what was it like for you in pregame introductions? Because a couple times towards the end, you were like bending over on your knee, particularly when Stanford kissed the field, and then Tebow was obviously emotional coming out. And at the end, your wife didn't look like she wanted to leave the field.
Yeah. Well, it was very emotional. That's the first time we've gone start to finish with a class. And we've had some unbelievable seniors, from Vernell Brown, Jeremy Mincy, and Jarvis Herring that first year. Another group of great guys to the Ray McDonald group, and then, this group's special. But the interesting thing about this one is our coaches are all in their homes, and we know every story. You don't really know story because you guys all got stories too. Everybody's got a story. We know their stories. And our families are a part of their families. That's a cool thing. You mentioned Ryan Stamper. Ryan Stamper is going to be a part of the Meyer family and Gator family and strong family for the rest of his life because that's how close we are with these players. It's really cool to witness that.
Andy, then Chris.
Coach, I know you didn't want to talk or think about goodbye, but you're standing there and Tim comes out of the tunnel for the last time. What's going through your mind?
Well, I thought ESPN, Tom Rinaldi is one of my favorites. When you watch his stuff, and I actually sat in my room at the hotel and watched his special. I don't know if you guys get a chance to watch that, but that was, the music and just the shadow of number 15 jogging out of the tunnel for the last time. And I was sitting there thinking about that, the piece I watched on TV as I saw number 15 come out. And 15 was broke down pretty good when he came through that tunnel. And so was 41 and 51 and 25, a bunch of them. I'm really impressed with Riley Cooper, by the way. He said some really neat things in there, and to see how far he's come as a football player and as a person is really a credit to the guys surrounding him in that locker room.
Chris in the back, and then Pat, and then Mike.
What did Coop say?
Oh, just about the living the dream, and he just wanted to thank his teammates. You know, and it wasn't. You guys all been around 18, 19, 20-year-olds. When you start babbling, and what are you saying? And that was from the bottom of his heart. And Riley Cooper's come a long way. If you'd told me 4 years ago, Riley Cooper, I said, yeah, okay, Coop. But now it's Coop.
He had a big touchdown catch. Demps had a long run. The big play was kind of missing earlier in the season. What was the difference?
Yeah, well, these boys, we had a few of them today. That's the best we've had. That was a little bit like last year in some of those games we had. And especially when you see against the caliber of athlete, you know, that you don't run away from. Like I said, we recruited every one of those players, and you don't very rarely run away. Jeff Demps, I think one of the defining moments of the day was when we were backed up and Rainey came out the other end of the one. And that just tells you when you're backed up and you can change field position like that, and then you obviously play great defense. That was a good day for the Gators.